Hello everyone, welcome to Commerce classes. Today we will be taking up another problem of statement of affairs with some more adjustments. Now you can see the adjustments after reading this question. So we are given from the given information about X Limited, prepare statement of affairs. Okay. Including deficiency account. So we are specifically asked to prepare this account. We are given equity capital, preference capital, secured creditors, partly secured creditors with second charge on land and building. See, in case of the liabilities, we can pledge them with first and second charge. The only difference is that the liabilities having first charge will be having the priority for payment above those who are having the second charge. Like the asset pledged here is land and building in both the cases. So when you sell off your land and building, then you will be paying first of all the liability with the first charge, that is the full amount will be paid here, and when balance is left out of the asset sold, that will be used for the liabilities with the second charge, and this is secured up to 30,000, which means that remaining 20,000 is going to be unsecured whether we recover the amount for that or not. It is having security of only 30,000. Then you have preferential creditors, 6% debentures having floating charge on assets, remaining unsecured creditors, bank overdraft with the security of machine, right? Then contingent liability is for discounted bills, but the liability is going to devolve for 4,500. Now assets are also given, but with a twist. Balance bill receivables are given including a bill which is bad. That means total bill receivables are 15,000, but 5,000 will not be recovered. So we are given the estimated realizable value alongside. Book debts are divided into three categories. Good are those which are fully recoverable. Bad are those which we cannot recover, and doubtful are those which are partly recoverable. Like here it says 50% recoverable. Stock is there, machine is there, land and building is there, cash in hand is there. Since our question has specifically asked to prepare deficiency account, then to prepare deficiency account, we need to have the profit or loss as per the balance sheet. That means on the date of liquidation. So we need to prepare a statement of affairs, or you can say balance sheet. So this is not the statement of affairs as per the provision of the Companies Act. So this is a provisional statement of affairs or a balance sheet which is just for the calculation of deficiency at the time of liquidation. So it is not the proper statement of affairs. And if you want to avoid confusion, you can call it a simple balance sheet or a simple statement of balances. So just record all the balances here. Share capital is given 2,40,000, that is equity. Preference is given 1,97,500. It says out of 2,500,000 can be recovered. So this will be a part of the cash that we will get. Secured creditors with first charge on land and building, okay, 60,000. Then you have partially secured creditors with second charge on land and building up to 30,000. 50,000 is the total amount. So secured portion is 30,000. Then you have preferential creditors 5,000. 6% debentures with floating charge. So to the extent possible, write up the amounts. 3 lakh. Okay. Then you have remaining unsecured creditors 1,20,000. Then you have bank overdraft on the security of machine. Okay, this is given against the security of machine, so 75,000. Contingent liabilities are shown as a note, and herein 4,500 rupees will be the liability that is going to devolve. So this is the actual liability that we are going to have. Bill receivables including 5,000 as bad, 15,000. Debtors are good, bad, doubtful, So 3 categories. So basically it is telling us about the amount that you are going to recover. Stock with estimated realizable value of 1,50,000. Book value is 120. Machinery with estimated realizable value of 1,10,000. So when we prepare balance sheet or a statement of balances, we are basically preparing the assets and liability values at their book value. Okay, so realizable value is a note which we will be adjusting in the main statement. So cash in hand 6,000. So we have written all the assets, all the liabilities. Now balance the two sides. Contingent liabilities won't be added, so balance the two sides, and that will give you the amount of profit or loss. So I am getting here 10,47,500 as the total, which means there is a loss of 4,55,500. So loss is 4,55,500. Okay. After making this statement, we are to make some preliminary work to prepare our statement of affairs. Now our assets are divided into two categories: not specifically pledged, that is free assets list A, and assets specifically pledged list B. So just record all the assets. Bill receivables are not pledged, but you will recover 10,000 out of 15. Debtors are not pledged, but you will recover 1 lakh in full. This won't be recovered. Out of 50,000, 50% is recoverable, so you will recover 25,000. So 1,25,000 will be recovered. Stock will give you 1,50,000. Machinery is pledged, so it will be coming in second category. Land and building is also in the second category. Realizable values. Then you have cash. Cash is 6,000. Okay, now coming to liabilities. Now in case of liabilities, we have certain preference order, which includes number 1, secured liabilities. Then you have preferential creditors. Then you have secured liabilities with floating charge. Then you have unsecured liabilities, and then you have preference capital, and finally equity capital. So looking at the liabilities, just put them at their places. Equity capital 2,40,000, preference capital 1,97,500, and in this case just remember our question said that we can recover 1,000 from arrears. So if you recover 1,000 rupees from arrears, your preference capital is going to be plus 1,000, and that will be added in the cash. Then you have secured creditors with the first charge on land and building. So secured liabilities include secured creditors with first charge on land and building, that is fully secured. Then you have partially secured creditors with second charge. Amount is 50,000, but secured amount is 30. Okay, and preferential creditors 5,000. Now herein, if out of 50,000 30 is secured, it means 20 will qualify here. So in the unsecured liabilities, the part of secured liabilities which is not covered, 20,000 will qualify here. Next is 6% debentures with floating charge. So secured liabilities with floating charge, 6% debentures 3 lakh. Then you have unsecured creditors. So it will come here, unsecured creditors 1,20,000. Then you have bank overdraft against machine, so 75,000. Then you have contingent liabilities 10,000. So it is unsecured contingent liability, but liability is 4,500. Alright, so this is how we have classified the assets and liabilities. So this is what we need to prepare statement of affairs. Now compile the list here. Secured liabilities B, C, D, E, F and G. We have written all because there are 8 lists up to H. H is for deficiency account, so up to G it is covered here. Now in this case, Again remember, this is the amount that we are going to realize, and then we will pay the liabilities in this order. So this is how your statement of affairs is going to appear. While recording the liabilities here, always remember that we have a pari passu clause for workmen's liabilities, and any balance left therefrom from that clause will be covered under overriding preferential creditors. So if you have pari passu clause, then you will be having workmen's liabilities being paid right in the beginning along with this, and any amount left unpaid will be coming before preferential creditors. So that we need to remember, although in this problem it was not there. Okay, we don't have any liability with that name. So starting with the statement. Okay, so I am making it alongside so that you can understand the way the columns will go. Now for the assets we have only two columns. Particulars, that is the details of the assets and liabilities, and expected or estimated realizable value. Alright, so estimated realizable value in money rupees, statement of affairs of X Limited as on so and so date. We are not given the date here. Now our first category is, since the statement is a bit lengthy, it is better you record all the titles in a separate color. So assets not specifically pledged, that is list A. We have done this preliminary work, we know these are the assets. Okay, bill receivables 10,000, debtors 1,25,000, stock 1,50,000, cash 7,000. So that gives us 2,92,000. So estimated assets not specifically pledged. Okay, estimated value of the assets not specifically pledged. Second category is for assets specifically pledged, that is list B. Now as per our work, we have already made a statement, preliminary statement is there with us. So we know that these are the assets which are not pledged. Which are specifically pledged. So we have here 4 columns. For these, the columns are estimated realizable value, due amount, that is secured liability, surplus if any left, and deficiency. If any deficiency is there, it goes in the unsecured liabilities. If any surplus is there, it comes in this column because this much money is now available. Now land and building, first charge and second charge, and then you have machines. Okay, so land and building first charge is 60,000, second charge is 50,000, but secured amount is 30,000. We can write it here in details. Secured amount 30,000. Now how much is recovered from the land and building? We have already noted here 1 lakh. So 1 lakh recovered here, but we won't write surplus here. Reason being, the surplus is not available freely. It is for the second charge available. So out of 1 lakh 60 goes here, 40 is available. Now out of 40,000, 30,000 is secured. So even if the liability is 50,000, secured liability is 30. So 30 will be paid, 10 is left as a surplus. For machine, it recovered 1,10,000 and bank overdraft against that is 75,000. That means 35,000 is surplus here. Now deficiency, you paid it in full. Herein out of 50,000, 30 was secured, so 20 is deficiency, which will be carried to the unsecured liabilities. See here, while doing the preliminary work, we carried it to unsecured liabilities here. So this work guides us here. So 2,50,000, 1,85,000, 45,000, 20,000. So what comes here? Surplus. So surplus of 45,000 will come here. We will say surplus from assets specifically pledged, okay, available for payment of. Now what is to be paid out of the money? You have already paid these. So you are to use the money now to pay preferential creditors, liabilities with floating charge, unsecured liabilities, right? So this is the money available now. So the total is 3,37,000. So this is estimated total assets available for payment of all these liabilities, the listed. You are left with these liabilities, so you write a list here. Okay, now herein we are to give a small statement of gross assets. Statement of gross assets, that is the assets realizations without any payment. So this has two categories: assets not specifically pledged, that is list A, 2,92,000. Assets specifically pledged, list B. So the gross amount for these assets was 2,50,000. So the total value was 5,42,000. So this is the total amount recovered from assets, but we are now having only this much left for the remaining liabilities, because these liabilities are sorted here. Okay, so now the second part of this statement, that is liabilities. So you will be continuing further. Now when we come to the part of liabilities, we have two columns, one on the right side, one on the left side. Left side is for the gross liabilities and right side will show the payments and the final difference left. So again, if you are continuing it here, so from here onwards you will make a column here also. So you will write here gross liabilities. Now the liabilities to be deducted from surplus. So if you have got money, liabilities will be paid out of that. It will be deducted or added to the deficiency. Okay, and the amount is here. So brought forward 3,37,000, which is available with us. Right. Now pay off the liabilities one by one. So again, keep this preliminary work with you. You have already paid this, but in the list we have to write all liabilities. It says gross liabilities. So our first category here is, first of all we will write secured liabilities as per list B. And what were those? Secured creditors with first charge 60,000. Secured creditors with secondary charge. Now remember, secured amount is 30,000. Bank overdraft secured against machine 75,000. Now out of this nothing will appear here because it has already been paid. You got this balance after payment of these liabilities. Okay, so it won't come here. Now next is, so no payment, no balancing. Next is preferential creditors. So preferential creditors, list C. Okay, now in this we have by name preferential creditors. We don't have the specific names like taxes, employees payments, or the amount provided for the investigations pending, etc. So we don't have that. So directly 5,000 here and you will pay it. With each component payment will be made and balance will be calculated. So now this is surplus assets, estimated surplus assets available for payment of. Now what is to be paid here? You paid this, so now you are to pay secured liabilities with floating charge and unsecured liabilities. So these two are to be paid. It will be noted here. Now next category is secured liabilities with floating charge, and this comes under list D. Alright, so this is 6% debentures. So you pay 3 lakh. When you pay 3 lakh, again we are left with surplus of 32,500. So what will we write here? Estimated surplus assets. estimated surplus assets. If you have surplus, you will write surplus. Okay, available for payment of. Now what is to be paid now? You paid this also, so you are to pay unsecured creditors. So for the payment of unsecured creditors, so just follow this work. Now next category is unsecured creditors. So with each category we are recording the liabilities and paying the liabilities. So unsecured creditors coming here are 3. Unsecured part of secured liabilities 20,000. All right, gross amount 20. Unsecured creditors, sometimes when we are writing debentures, their interest may also be pending, so interest will be paid here along with this. Okay, so anyhow it is not the case here. Contingent liability for bills which is likely to devolve, so these are the liabilities. Now we are not bothered whether these will be paid or not, because it is not the actual payment. We are just to show that these are pending. And if we are to pay this 1,44,500, this is the entire payment, then you are left with 1,12,500. But now we have got a deficiency, so we will record it as deficiency as regard unsecured creditors. So after paying to creditors, we are left with the deficiency. Now we are to write paid up share capitals. Okay, which includes preference share capital first, list F, and equity share capital list G. Okay, so your preference capital was 1,98,500. So you will pay this, and equity capital 2,40,000. Even this will be paid. Now it won't come here because it is not an external liability. You will total up the liability column here. Now coming here, so this is deficiency as regard shareholders. So as regard the members or shareholders, this is your deficiency. 5,51,000 is the amount of deficiency coming. So the same amount can be explained through the deficiency account. So we can prepare a deficiency account for this. Now starting with the deficiency account as per list H. Now this account has two components. First of all, we will be recording items contributing to deficiency. Now the items contributing to deficiencies include net loss given in the balance sheet or excess of liabilities and capital over assets. Now remember, we completed the balance sheet in the beginning to find out the profit or loss. All right, so this was the question given to us, and we compiled it in the form of balance sheet, and we found that we have got a loss of 4,55,500. So your question starts here. If you have a profit, it will come in the second component. So this includes net loss. Then you have net trading loss for the last 3 years period, if any. Net non-trading losses. If you are given any details of past 3 years, of course these losses will be calculated after payment of all expenses, remunerations, manager's salary, etc., taxes payment. Then you have bonus issue or dividend payout. If you pay dividend, your profits reduce. Okay, then you have estimated losses on realization of assets or payment of liabilities, the reassessment of liabilities. So this we'll have to see. Now given your question, you can find out whether you have a profit or loss arising therefrom. So we will cover these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Finally, any other item. So this list is not exhaustive. Any item contributing to deficiency will be coming here. Okay, so this we will record. So this is the total deficiency. Then second set is for the items reducing deficiency. So this can be written the opposite of these. It is net loss. So herein we will be having net profit or reserves. That is excess of assets over liabilities. Then you will be having net trading profit, net non-trading profit. Then you have estimated profit on revaluation of assets or liabilities, and finally any other item. Okay, any item reducing deficiency, it will be coming here. So this is how the statement is prepared. You have to write all components whether you have any amounts therein or not. All right, so you can take up the amounts here. Now consider the profits and losses arising herein. These informations are not given. No loss on realization of assets. So take up assets one by one. Bill receivables were including 5,000 rupees bad. It will be coming here. In case of debtors, you recovered this much. This you could not recover, and herein also you recovered 50%. So in case of debtors, your loss is 46,000. 21,000 plus 25,000. In stock, you have got more amount. So stock will give you profit. It will reduce your deficiency. Machinery is going to fetch you lesser. So 40,000 machinery. Land and building is also giving you 30,000 lesser. Okay, so this is here. Then you have a contingent liability. So contingent liability will also devolve. So you have a loss of 4,500. So it is not that out of 10,000, 4,500 has devolved, so we have a profit. This was not there in books. From books point of view, this is the new liability. So any new liability coming up will be recorded here. So we have got 30,000, 40,000, 46,000, 5,000 and 4,500. The total of this is 1,25,500. So that gives us 5,81,000. Now this is 30,000 here. So we have got 5,51,000 as the final deficiency as per statement of affairs. Okay. So how do we solve such questions? In order to prepare statement of affairs, we are just to make a preliminary statement. Assets in two categories, liabilities in some categories. After that, we can formalize the statement. The format is number one for assets. So assets specifically pledged and not pledged. These are the two categories and a statement of gross assets. Then coming to liabilities, you are to record all liabilities in the preference order one by one. Secured liabilities will also come, but they won't be paid here because you have already paid them here. Then all other liabilities, finally you get a deficiency or surplus. Now this is explained through statement H, list H. However, since the question is a bit lengthy, so statement H will be prepared only when your question asks you to prepare it. So this is the format of statement H, and you have all the components. Now mainly these amounts will be appearing, so you can compile the information. All right. So thank you.